Alright guys, I'm out here on Lake Chickamauga for the FLW Tour event coming up this week. This is the last day of practice, really the last hour of practice. So I'm pretty much going to be idling for the whole hour, looking for schools on the ledges. So I figured I'd give you a rundown on what you're looking for, how I have my unit set up, and just how to go about idling around a ledge. And I'll show you some fish, brush piles, and everything like that, what they all look like on the screen. That way you have an idea when you're using your graph. So first things first, the most important part is having a good map. And now usually I like to use Navionics for most lakes. They got a pretty good map, but for Tennessee and especially Lake Chickamauga, the Lowrance C-Map chip, unbelievable. It's the best map I've ever seen in my life. So you're able to set up the depth shading like you can see here, and what that allows you to do is set different depth zones to a different color. So now you can see this creek channel running right out through here. You can see that it's a different color. You don't even have to look for the contours. You can just look for the different colors. And you can see this point sticking out as red. You can see these bars show up as an orangish color. It just lets the spots really pop out at you. And in turn, it makes your day easier because all you're doing is looking at colors, and you learned about colors in elementary school, so it's not that hard. So that makes my life a lot easier in finding where to idle. Now, once you're there, you can kind of see, I just like to make a zigzag right along the ledge and just keep going up and down, up and down. And what you're gonna see is, well, over here, let's back up. I like to run my side scan on the bottom. I'm shooting out 140 feet. I could probably zoom that in a little bit, but that's just where I like to leave it. Then I got my down scan up in the top left corner, and then over here I got traditional 2D sonar. I really like the sonar and the down scan. A lot of times the sonar will allow me to see fish, and the down scan will allow me to see the size of the fish. So I utilize both of them right there on the screen, and got my two HDS lives set up right there on the console like so. Now let's see if we can find some fish and show you what they look like, how they set up, and maybe a brush pile or two or something like that. I believe there's some right down here on this point, so we'll get down there in a second. But I know I get a lot of questions about settings and everything like that for side scan and sonar and everything, but I pretty much keep it simple. See, I got a structure scan 3D box and transducer in my boat, and with the latest updates Lowrance has put out for these HDS lives, they pretty much tweaked the settings. So all you have to do is run that update, and it basically changes the settings that you would need. Whereas before, in older units, you had to tweak the sensitivity, the contrast a little bit to be able to see this. But with these new units, you don't even have to do that. You take them out of the box, install them, they're ready to go. So you can kind of see here, this was me going up the bar and back down. So you can see the hard, that's just a nice hard sand. And this is the deeper, the bottom softens up. So the hard shows up as white or lighter on this blue palette. It's a little bit different with every color palette, but I like this one here. I believe it's number 9. Palette number 9. This white one seems to show up better for the fish. That's number 2. On the down scan, I just like to run them a little different. That way, it just kind of helps my eyes, honestly. When I'm staring at these screens, I like something a little different in the top left. So the sonar, I try and just keep it on the standard. That is, where do we go? pallet number 1. And that just lets those fish pop out really well. I mean, as you can see, we've been going over some fish. Not a big group of them. They've just been kind of scattered here and there. Honestly, in my opinion, those are probably catfish that are just out here roaming around. But we should be able to find something here on this point. Like, there's a bass right there. I would say that is a bass. Just, oh, there's another one. So yeah, there's a couple bass sitting there. They're set up perfect right on that drop. They look like pretty decent ones right there. You can see I idled this already this morning, and I put that yellow mark there to remind me to come back. Check it before dark. That's another key I know a lot of guys, I notice a lot of guys don't do, is they don't use all their waypoint icons. The Lowrance comes with all these different icons. Why not use them all? Now, only you will remember what they are. You know, I use a different one, and I just remember what, you know, I marked the American flag for a spot I want to come back and fish during the tournament. I marked the little X to mark a brush pile or a stump or something like that. I use the yellow ones to mark an area that I want to check again, and to mark an area that I've never been to before, like right here, we'll go check this out. I usually use a stop sign. So I just use all the different icons, and that helps me just keep my waypoints organized. You know, if you just use the same icon, just to use a regular blue dot, how would you ever differentiate what is what? So that's why I like to use all the different icons. And let's see if we can't find some fish right here. There ought to be something here. Anybody home? There is not. That's a ghost town. See, you can even see that's my prop wash right there, because I had already idled through there. So look how far down that prop wash goes. That's pretty crazy to think. That's almost 15 feet down. You can see the bubbles. You know, so imagine what it's doing to those fish that are on the bottom there. They definitely hear us. And we get in these ledge tournaments where everybody's out here idling around, and I think that just really spooks the fish and scares them. So I'm looking forward to this off day here tomorrow, where we, you know, the lake won't get as much pressure. That'll allow these fish to set up, and come Thursday morning, it should be game on. It's going to be a ledge fest. There's a nice school of bait. See the bait? See it on the down scan right there. Well, I appreciate you guys watching along. Any other questions about using Lowrance product, leave me in the comments below. I will definitely answer them. I spend a lot of time on my graphs, so I like to know every little secret and trick there is. So if anybody's got any questions or anything, definitely let me know. If you liked it, hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna have some more content coming about using your graphs for smallmouth, especially on the Great Lakes. Once it's summertime, we can get up on the Erie and Ontario. I'll do a video about idling around up there and show you how to really find them. It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit different than this. You don't have to zigzag as much. You're more looking for rock piles rather than current breaks and whatnot. But this is it's still a lot of fun to find them with your Lowrance. I love it. It's one of my favorite ways to catch them, and I just love sitting here in this seat. It's like hunting almost. I just sit here and I gotta find them. And then once you find them, you gotta try and figure out how to catch them. But you gotta find them first. So that's the fun part. There's a couple more fish there before we get out of here, but appreciate you guys watching along. Oh, we got some more fish. Those are not bass.